It's Figma time! Hello and welcome to another figure review. Today we're gonna have a look at the Figma number EX044. It's Ludens, which is the Kojima Productions mascot. Kojima Productions, you know, Hideo Kojima, the guy who used to Metal Gear, got kicked out by Konami and has now his own studio and is working on Death Stranding. And now I don't know if this character has anything to do with Death Stranding or if he's just the mascot of Kojima Productions. They have the logo and everything. We're gonna have a look at that. But why I got this figure is because I'm really intrigued of how Figma is gonna handle this. I mean, recently I've seen a lot of interesting stuff from Figma, and I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do with such a big dude like Ludens. And overall, I also dig the design. So let's not waste any more time and have a look at him. So yeah, this guy is definitely bigger than your average Figma. How much bigger? Well, let's see, let's have a look. Also his feet, his overall legs, they're a little bit loose. I wish they were tighter, so you're probably gonna have to put him on the base, depending on how crazy of a stance you wanna have. He is at pretty much a little shy of 17 centimeters, which is a little shy of 7 inches tall. If we're really going to the tippy top of his crown, all the stuff that's going on in the head and the face sculpt, you have the skull mask under there. I will reveal that in just a second. I'm just going to give you an overlook of all the detail that's going on. There's like tons of very small detailed writing on there, which I can barely see through the camera. And you have all these spots. It looks very Metal Gear-ish. I mean, design wise, it really brings back memories of Metal Gear. All kinds of armor with all kinds of weird writing, and the dots. You always have dots. He really really likes his dots, his bolts, the little golden bolts over here. We have a bunch of these, but I want to get back to the face. What you actually do to reveal that, which I've seen in the instructions. Let's see. I hope it works because I didn't try it out beforehand. But you can take all this off, and then you have this guy with a skull mask. There's actually a guy in Death Stranding with a skull mask. Is that the same guy? Or, you know, like I'm saying, I don't know if Ludens will show up in any game or if this is just the mascot. But the skull mask looks awesome, man. I love this. Look at the shiny metallic paint job it has. Really reflecting. The eyes, though, for Kojima Productions being such a more realistic, the eyes look very anime. That's just the thing. I mean, Figma can't do realism, let's be honest here. We got some more writing on what seems to be a little camera on the side of his helmet. There's some more gold in his neck area and some more tubes, cables going all throughout it. You cannot take this off, by the way. It's just connected, I think, via a ball. Or is it just the straps? You have all these straps that go around the body, and that's connected to the backpack. And let me zoom out real quick, so you can have a nice overlook of everything that's going on. I want to give you a good look at everything because there's a lot. You have a color difference in the arms. You have like more of the spacesuit. Spacesuit is more like a beige, like a white, dirty white stuff. And the armor is in clean white. So have a little bit of a color difference there. It looks very good. I mean, it looks like an armored spacesuit. And we got some more tubes. Can I just rotate them out? I guess that's the best look we're gonna get off the back, but there's still some stuff. Moving down to the legs, more writing, more golden, more bronze dots actually. I say golden, but yeah, it's really got like a bit of more of bronze tone, but it's nice, shiny, metallic paint job for everything that's going on with this guy. I mean, I don't even know. I want this character to be in a game, like seriously, I want to play this character. It looks a bit like a robot, like a spacesuit, robot, mecha, dude with a skull mask. And that's awesome, so shoutouts to that. So one of the more important parts of this guy is the articulation, because what did he do here? Did they succeed in making this guy as nimble as possible or not? So I didn't put the helmet back on, because I want to have a look at the hat, which only has a little bit side-to-side rotation, doesn't really get much. Doesn't really go back, guess it's blocked, but it does go down a little bit. So yeah, basically you're not gonna get a lot from that. Then the entire neck area, this entire piece, is connected, I'm guessing, via double ball joint. There's a little bit of room in there, so it does go forward, does go a little bit to the back, It does tilt side to side, and it does not really rotate around all the way, obviously. I mean, it's very, very busy around here. Actually, the smallest amount of articulation, I think it's nice. So they left just the right amount of room, so it doesn't leave a huge gap. But you can still get some articulation out of it, but then it's blocked in the back. So, you know, like I'm saying, that's the price you have to pay. The backpack, I wanted to have a look at that. I think it's connected. There's a ball hinge in there, but it doesn't really move at all. So really just rotate it a little bit side to side. But I wouldn't recommend it because there's all these cables and you don't want them to break off. Now, we're gonna get to the shoulders. You got the double ball combination. You got a ball in the torso area, which you can rotate. And then the other one on the shoulder itself, which does get about this range of motion. You do have a bigger gap there, but I guess that's okay. Again, they left the gaps where you can hide them. So it doesn't really pose an issue to me. And there seems to be another ball hinge in this shoulder pad. So you can move that up and down, and it actually doesn't rotate around. Does it rotate back and forth? I guess it's just pegged in there after all. Really just hinge motion, goes up and down, and I do get some articulation, do get some swiveling, but I don't like this clicking noise. So I'm not gonna search for much more. Don't have bicep swivel, don't have a butterfly joint, which I find. I don't know how much you would have gotten out of it, but you could have easily made this entire part a butterfly joint. Just saying. Oh, you can rotate at the elbow. So actually there's your thigh swivel rotation going all the way around. Careful with that. Oh, it's 2 ball packs or not. It's super stiff actually. You have a simple hinge in the elbow and a fist on another ball hinge, I'm guessing. Yeah, that's standard. Okay, elbow and fist are standard. That's the only standard thing I've seen so far. Then, torso articulation. Okay, step by step, guys. I have ball pack in the torso area for the chest piece. This armor piece over here. So you can bring that up and down just a tiny teensy bit and side to side and got a little bit of rotation. Again, it's everything hooked up to the cables, so be very careful with it. Move it slowly. I don't want to break anything off, but you know what? I gave him props for doing that because they could have just said, you could have just tucked that on here and said, all right, we're not gonna give any torso articulation whatsoever. What I don't know is with these straps over here, is there supposed to be a belt in it? Is the middle piece supposed to be connected? And I just made it so it lines up when you got it on there? I don't know. But then we got the chest articulation. Does go back and forth just a little bit, and it does get a little bit of rotation. Actually would probably get a lot of rotation, but obviously there's a lot of things going on. This is really busy. So I'm okay with that, and just, you know, it's small, but considering how the figure looks, it's okay. Then the crotch piece also got some rotation, and also got a tiny bit of wiggle room, so you can move that around. As for the legs, you have just ball joints in there. That's kind of disappointing. So the legs, like I'm saying, I have 2 problems with the legs. First of all, they're not really articulated at all. I mean, it's just goes out to the side, but again, I'm not ragging on it too much. It looks very clean though. You really have to pull it out all the way to even see the ball joints in there. So that's fine. Don't have a thigh swivel, and you have the double hinge knee. Gets 45 degrees. It's actually nice, and the floaty knee pads. I like also that it kind of snaps into place. It just lines up very nicely with it, so it goes with the flow. Can you rotate anything over here? Get a little bit of rotation, I'm guessing, from the thigh piece. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be, so, you know, don't over-rotate that and break it off. Then we have the foot, which has a big ball hinge in there, and another floaty piece to cover it up nicely. Back, forward, side to side. And finally, there's a toe hinge that doesn't really want to cooperate. Let's try this one. Yeah, you don't really get much out of the toe hinge, but yeah, That's it. And as I was saying, the other thing is this is not cool, guys. He's big, he's bulky, and you're giving him these just really loose legs. That's not cool. So for the accessories, there's not really much going on, but those are the rules. If you have a big guy, they usually don't have big accessories. So we got the Kojima Productions flag, twice in the see-through and the black. I'm liking the see-through. It has a little bit of a bluish, grayish hue to it. I like that they just didn't just make it straight see-through. And of course, you have the pole to connect it to everything else. Just a black pole at the bottom, going into some silver, and has some sort of spike on top of it, and you just pack that in on the side over here. I'm not gonna do it on camera because I'm gonna fail. You know, I can't see with these hands through these camera lenses. And then for the hands, those are all in plastic for whatever reason. You got the open hand, shaking hand, and then we got the holding hand for the flag, obviously, and that's why the flag is two pieces. People sometimes ask me, oh, why is this two pieces? So you can open it, slide the hand on it, and then close it, and then hold, and you don't have to, you know, play around with the hand and be like, and scratch all of this nice black. So there you go. And then of course you got the Figma back and the Figma base, which we already had, but there's one more thing. You're actually getting an artbook. Kojima Productions, Ludens production notes, which has in Japanese and English some writing, some pictures on it. It's very nice. It's a cool little thing. Like it makes it seem like a collector's edition. You got the artwork, which looks super impressive, man. I wish I could draw that way. Really, really great stuff. And I'm gonna go over it quickly, show you all the detail. If you're a fan of these things, you know, have fun, enjoy. And you got the backpack in great detail, and then the Figma. And I don't know if there's any explanation. The flag featuring the Kojima Productions logo that appears via optical display on Ludens spear. Oh, so this is optical display, the see-through one. That's so fancy. So yeah, you got all the explanations of everything. You got a couple of different Ludens designs. It has all the little writing on it. Extra vehicular creative and ensure lock tight. And then we got all these different color variations for all the re-releases we're gonna get. I'm just kidding. I don't think so. Then again, you know, if you want to have an army of Ludens, write Figma to make it happen. And then we got whatever the hell this is. This is sketches. Rough sketches of Ludens. Okay, the early days. Gotcha. Still with had a little bit more of a night design. I mean, I guess it's still like a night design. And then we got the Max Factory 30th anniversary, kind of like a chibi Ludens. And a Happy New Year from Sapiens to Ludens. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, by the way, but I'm gonna stick with Ludens. So here's one final look at Ludens before we end this, before we finish this off. Give you another spin around of everything that's going on. And I like the flag. I think that's a really nice touch. So, what do I think about this figure? Final thoughts. This is an iffy one, like seriously. Here's the deal. Like, the pros are that the design is very nice and it's overall very well done. However, upon further review, there's some weird spots in the armor, and I don't know if that's supposed to be like that with the paint or if that's an issue with the paint. So, it looks like it's an issue with the paint because it's kind of wonky and it does stand out weirdly. And it does seem like a thing that happens when you just put on too much paint. It's from my personal experiences. But anyway, nobody cares about that. Figure-wise, he looks good. The articulation is actually nice for a big guy. I mean, it could be better, especially in the legs. But overall, I'm okay with it. And then finally, the negative. The only thing that really annoys me are the legs. How just, you know, they're not really standing in place. And I think that's not cool for, especially if you're doing a big guy. It should be ratcheted, should be reinforced by some way. I mean, he does have a base, don't get me wrong. I can stand him up. You might be like, oh, why are you even complaining about that? He has a base, idiot. What if you don't want the base? What if you need the space without the base? Anyway, just final thoughts of this guy. I don't think you need to have him. This is a little bit more special. If you're a fan of Kojima Productions, if you're a fan of more experimental Figmas, if you're a fan of something a little bit more out of the box, then this is for you. But it also comes at a higher price point. This is not a figure for everybody, but if you like the design, if you're okay with the price, I can recommend it because I don't see any huge blemishes on it. But for the rest of you guys, if you're saying meh, then pass. I mean, as you're not really missing out on a revolution over here, although he looks kind of like a revolutionary with the flag and everything. So yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, gameplay stuff, and whatever Ludens wants.